Howdy, my friends, and welcome back to Après-Shred. Today we're back at Fitzgerald in Springdale, Arkansas for video number 2. We're going to take the Stagecoach Loop, which we featured in our previous video, out to 3 different flow trails that are connected by a central hub and a small connector trail called Quick Draw that will return you to the hub after each flow. The last segment we'll feature today is Heading Home, which is a trail that takes you back to the main trailhead. The main trailhead for Fitzgerald is a parking lot on Dodd Avenue. As you're heading west, it's on your right side. You're going to ride up Dodd Avenue, up the hill, and you'll begin to see bike crossing signs. Fitzgerald is on both sides of the road. On the left side of the road, you have Butterfield Trail, Coyote Cave, and Best Trail Ever. On the right side of the road, you have Old Wire, Stagecoach, Frontier Trail, and the flow trails. We featured the Stagecoach Loop in our last video, as well as Old Wire. So we're going to turn up the speed a bit here so we can speed through this section and get to Frontier Trail, which will take us to the flow trails. Riding the Stagecoach Loop along with the flow trails and Quick Draw, and finally coming back home on the Heading Home Trail is around 4.5 miles total. The trail ratings are green to blue. However, I would say that any of these trails are on the harder side of green, especially when they're not maintained or after a hard rain when the trails have washed out. If you are a relatively new rider and you've only ridden green, this would be a great place to stretch your wheels and try to go incrementally harder. As you ride along the Stagecoach Loop, you'll see 3 downhill trails, Gully Washer, Barking Iron, and the Bridge is Out. We'll cover these in a future video. We're going to take a left onto Frontier Trail. In the last video, we took a right and kept going on Stagecoach Loop. This is a blue segment, and it's a climb up to the top of Fitzgerald Mountain. Frontier Trail is around a half-mile climb. According to Mountain Bike Project, it's only a climb of 40 feet. I have no idea how that's possible. It sure feels like it's a lot more than 40 feet. It is a challenge, and it's very techy, as you'll see coming up. Once you've reached the water tower, you'll begin a series of short downhills and uphills, and the trail becomes noticeably more technical. I would say if this segment were rated like a climbing route, then there would certainly be crux moves that would move the trail rating from a blue to a black or maybe a blue-black. But here at Après-Shred, we might be experts at finding the best place to drink and eat after a ride. We're not experts at rating the trails themselves, so we'll leave that to the pros. as you flow through with ease the aptly rated blue section, the trail begins to flow downhill and really opens up into a cool bluff line. I'm amazed that Fitzgerald Mountain packs so much natural diversity into such a small area, which is what makes this ride and this trail area so unique. As you enter the hub, you're going to see 5 different trail options. Off to your left, the first trail is quick draw. It'll say do not enter because this is the one direction route that takes you back to the hub from the bottom of each flow trail. You'll have flow train and broken spoke. And then to your right, Wagon Ride, which is the only blue flow trail here. And then Headed Home. This is the trail that takes you back to the trailhead or Bayari Park. Each of the flow trails is about a half mile in distance. The 2 green flow trails, which are broken spoke and flow train, are bermy. They don't have any forced gaps. There are no forced drops. So you don't need to be on the lookout for feature signs or worry at all that you're going to come upon a feature that you might not be ready for. In fact, if you're thinking about getting into enduro or trying to pick up a little bit of speed on downhill, riding berms and other technical features, this might just be the trail, or the 2 flow trails, I should say, for you. We did have a subscriber ask us to leave just a little bit of that trail noise in the video, as it adds to the experience of watching the forest from a mountain biker. So we left it in. Once you reach the bottom of the trail, you're going to get on the quick draw connector. So I want to note this can really be confusing the first time you go to Fitzgerald because it just feels like a web of trails, and there's a lot of do not enter or one-way signs at the bottom. Keep your eyes open for quick draw on every trail except for Heading Home. Quick draw is the way that you'll get back to the hub, and eventually the way that you'll get back out of this entire section. Trying to go up one of the flow trails because you're confused not only is more difficult than just riding the quarter-mile quick draw connector, but it also might put you in a head-on collision with another rider. The second trail from the hub is Broken Spoke. Again, this is another green trail, so you don't need to worry about any forced gaps or any features that might be beyond your riding ability if you're riding in that green-blue level. This is another half-mile trail that flows just like Flow Train. If you're new to Après-Shred, we like to show every mile of the trails that we ride so that you know what you're getting into when you show up to the trailhead. We're not offended at all if you skip through and watch certain sections. It's a resource that's here for you to see what you're about to ride. Additionally, we like to hook riders up with places to stay and places to eat and drink after the ride. So take a look at our video description. You'll see links for local bars or restaurants that we recommend. As far as Fitzgerald is concerned, I would say it's really the only trail in its area, so I would recommend staying in Fayetteville or Bentonville if you're visiting the area. But certainly take an afternoon or a full day to come check out the Fitzgerald trails. Since we've already featured Quick Draw, I'm going to go ahead and skip and get us all the way back up to the hub. And now it's time for Wagon Ride. So Wagon Ride is the only blue on this trail. The berms are a little bit beefier. Beginning, there is a drop. I'm not really sure if it's totally rollable, but it's totally doable for, I'll say, a blue to blue-black level rider. We'll take Quick Draw back to the hub one final time. This time we're going to take the green trail to the right of the hub called Headed Home. Headed Home is slightly longer than the rest of the flow trails because because it does connect you back to the Stagecoach Loop. It's still under a mile in total length. For the final 1/10 of a mile before you connect back up with Stagecoach, which is right inside of Bayari Park. As you climb around 40 feet to the right, you're going to see an intersection. This will take you either to the bottom of the downhill trails, or if you take a left, it will put you back on the Stagecoach Loop, which will bring you back to the entrance and finally back to the trailhead parking lot. Stagecoach Loop does offer a few fun features before you exit the park. A few small kickers, no forced drops. Again, no real surprises on these trails. I can't say the same thing for the downhill trails or for the trails on the other side of the road, like Coyote Cave and Best Trail Ever. As we exit the trails, I just wanted to say thank you for watching and thank you for listening to the always original Après-Shred music. If you're looking for a place to eat or drink after your ride or more information on the area itself, please check out the links in our description below. Please click like. If you like the content, please subscribe. Also, we're on all the social media platforms. And we're all about the beta, so we're posting the latest races, trail love days, festivals, and everything in between. Thanks for watching. Shred well, my friends.